Hi, I'm Rebecca, and you're welcome to the first episode of Queer and Unfiltered. On this show, we share moments and wild experiences of real people. The details about how you can share your story or experience will be in the description. Now, let's get into today's video. First email is from Morgan.
I and my partner had been planning a getaway for weeks, so we had planned it for a Friday since we were both going to be off for the weekend. He had told me that he was ready to stop hiding and that he had booked a hotel and wanted to spend Friday and Saturday nights with me. We usually spend nights together, but not as much as two people in love will on a regular. Mind you, I and this man had been together for 6 months at the time. I was so excited on that day. I got off work early, got home, and took an everything shower. I arrived at the hotel we agreed to meet and sat in the lobby, waiting on my man. About 15 minutes later, I got a text from this man saying, "I'm running a little late. I'll call you soon." This was about 6 p.m. I ordered myself a drink and sat there, waiting for this man to show up. 30 minutes went by, then an hour. I called, no answer. I texted, nothing. Around 8:15, I tried calling him again and someone finally picked up, but it wasn't him. It was a woman. I thought maybe she's a colleague or a relative, so I asked if I could speak to him. She then responded saying, "He's putting the kids to bed. Who's this?" I froze. I remember staring at my drink trying to process what she just said. I asked her again, "Sorry, who are you?" She responded and her voice was a little stronger. "I'm his wife. Who's this?" I was too stunned to speak. I hung up without saying a word and left the hotel, got in my car and just sat there. Later that night I called him again, no answer. I texted and still got no response. The most shocking part of all this was when he called me back. Only this time it wasn't him who called, it was his wife who used his phone to call back. Soon as I picked up, she said, "I don't need you to say anything, I just need you to let me speak." She didn't yell or say any cuss words. She talked slowly, like someone who's had this conversation too many times in her head. She told me that she had been married to her husband for 17 years. They have 6 kids, and she was well aware of who I was. She told me she was aware of her husband's other life and had known me for a while now. She said that her and her husband had an agreement and they know their limits. She said I'm the longest finger her husband has had, and it seems he can't tell me off, so she had to do it for him. I couldn't breathe. I wasn't angry at first. I was numb. This was very humiliating and I don't wish it on anyone.
I do believe there is way more to this story than what Morgan is telling. What do you think? Let's move to the next story. This one is from Francis.
I was dating this man I met on Tinder in 2022. We were together for 7 months before I started noticing odd things he'd do, like ending calls whenever I enter the room or hiding his phone so I don't see what he's doing on it. We were an openly gay couple. Our families knew each other, our friends knew each other, so this was a well-known relationship to everybody. Long story short, we shared an apartment together, but I still had my own apartment because I'm an artist and I need as much personal space as I can get. On days when I go over to my apartment at night, I usually spend the night there. I and my man at the time knew this, and it happened so often because I'm always working. On this particular day, I did not feel like spending the night at my apartment, so I went back home to our shared apartment. When I unlock the door, the first thing that welcomes me is a girl on our couch. Then this man walks out with his hard as fuck. They were just there looking stupid. I walked back out the door and drove back to my apartment. I was trying to comprehend what I had just seen on the drive home. Never in my wildest dream did I think that if I'm being cheated on, it will be with the one and only gender he swears he's not attracted to. This made me more mad than heartbroken.
This is really wild. I feel so bad for Francis. This is crazy, real crazy.
My name is Caroline. I graduated high school a year ago, and at the time I had a girlfriend. We were going strong for almost 2 years before we graduated. We decided to move in together 6 months post-graduation, and we did. I had spent a lot of time with her, but I had never lived with her. Living with her ultimately made me realize that we cannot be together. There was too many problems, like her not taking a shower or brushing her teeth for days in a row, repeating her underwear, wiping a dirty dish with a paper towel instead of washing with soap and water. I don't know how I was able to put up with her poor hygiene for so long. One day out of the blue, I fell sick. I went to the hospital only to find out I had gotten an STI. Given her history, you can tell I don't be with anyone else. I told her about it and she got very defensive. We had a very heated argument that ultimately led to her physically abusing me multiple times on that day. The police had to be called and she was arrested. After she was released, she came back. At this point, we could not continue dating, so we agreed to live together as roommates since we split the bill for everything. We were cool living together as friends instead of lovers. 3 months passed by and we were living peacefully. She had her issues, but we weren't in each other's spaces as much anymore. She had gotten a new girlfriend, who we're going to call Fo. Whenever Fo came over to spend the night, she always finds a reason to pick an argument with me. One day after work, I got to my apartment, and as I was at the entrance, Fo and 4 other girls popped out of nowhere. Fo approached me and asked me why I went through her stuff the last time she spent the night and accused me of stealing her sunglasses and her gold necklace. I obviously had no idea what she was going on about, so I told her I had no idea and all I wanted to do was get into my apartment. We were going back and forth, and one of Fo's friends gave me the heaviest slap I had ever received, unprovoked, and they all attacked me at once. I fought back as much as I could. I had noticed Fo holding a bottle and her friends moved out of the way. My instincts instantly told me to get up and run. As I tried running, Fo threw the liquid in a bottle at me, directed at my face, but I protected my face with my hands. Long story short, Fo tried to burn me with acid. My hands suffered major burns and my face only got little splashes of the acid, which I am so grateful for. So many mistakes were made and a lot ignored. It's been 5 months since the attack. I'm recovering physically and mentally from what I was subjected to.
Jeez, these stories keep getting wilder. Let's see if the next one is any better. This one's from Becky.
I and Laura met at the gym. It was our first time there, and when I saw her for the first time, I found her attractive, so I approached her. We had a little connection, we started talking, then soon became friends. We always met at the gym and became gym partners eventually. Laura never made any advances at me, it was all me from the start, but she never refused or rejected any of my advances. I invited her over to my house for dinner one night. We spent time together, shared a kiss, and talked about ourselves. She had grown on me, and I wanted to spend as much time as I could talking to her. She never spent the night at my place. If we were out and it was getting late, she would ask to leave, with work being the excuse even on the weekend. She never suggested we visit her house. It looked like she was being secretive about us, but I didn't bother because I was living in the moment and enjoying my time with her. It wasn't long until she started being distant, stopped taking my calls, and stopped responding to my texts as frequently as she used to. I felt heartbroken because I really liked her. I left her a text expressing my feelings to her and telling her to just talk to me because I don't know what to think. Days went by and there was no response from Laura. I tried calling a few more times. It was the same thing. I slowly started getting worried because I had not heard from her in 4 days. I kept leaving texts, still no response. She never introduced me to anyone she knew, so I didn't know who to ask. I received a very long text from a strange number some days later. It was Laura's husband. I'll summarize it. From that text, I got to find out that Laura was married with 2 kids, and it turns out that Laura told her husband that I was stalking and harassing her anytime she goes to the gym. This was one of the greatest shocks of my life. I had kept this to myself for a very long time because this feeling hurt so much. I'm still a lover girl no matter what happens, and I know I'll find my girlfriend or maybe my wife someday.
Ow. I'm not gonna lie, I'm shook. You never really know what is going on in people's lives. Yeah. This next one is from Audrey.
I met Daniel on Facebook. He was charming, confident, funny, and always in control. I thought I was lucky. It was perfect at the beginning. He'd text me every day telling me about how much he loved me and how no one had made him feel seen the way I did. It was intense, but I enjoyed the feeling of being wanted. I didn't realize the kind of situation I was in until it was already over. He slowly began to show his true color. He'd make comments like, "You talk too much," and "You're lucky I'm patient." He made me question myself every day. If he got angry, I apologized. If I got angry, I still apologized. If he ignored me, I assumed I did something wrong, and I'd have to beg for his forgiveness and attention. He always tried to make me feel bad about myself. The wake-up call I had was when he got very aggressive and ultimately physically abusive. He all the time, even in my presence. Whenever we want to have sex, he always brings out his phone to watch some porn. It wasn't something I was comfortable with, so I called him out for it, and he slapped me. Soon as he slapped me, he pulled me in for a hug. While I was in the hug, I was trying to understand what the heck was going on and how many times it had happened that I didn't realize. He tried to gaslight me and tell me that he didn't mean to hit me that hard and basically say I blew it out of proportion and make me apologize for what he did wrong. My eyes opened from that moment. I waited for when it was safe for me to move out of our apartment, and I did, and never looked back.
I'm overwhelmed with the kinds of things I hear people go through. I hope everyone stays safe. Speak to someone if you have to. You don't have to go through anything alone. Well, that's a wrap for today's episode. And let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next one.